What's up guys, Jimmy with Andrew. Welcome back to Freshly Charged. Today we've got the VX4. It's a commuter scooter. Andrew, what do we have to expect here?
It's an all-terrain commuter scooter, not super high speeds, but really well crafted.
So the Swiss are known for crafting some great stuff. Watches, knives, cuckoo clocks, cheese.
They do have some awesome cheese.
Good cheese, chocolate. Let's go through this scooter from top to bottom.
Yeah, starting with the cockpit, you have some turn signals on the edges, turn signals in the rear. This is a 4-inch TFT LCD display, which is super crisp and I love the way it looks. And a very easy menu to kind of go through all the different settings and adjust things that you want to adjust. 2 different speed modes, a USB port, which is hidden. This is pretty sweet. I've never seen it hidden inside of the left handlebar. The nice handlebar grips, which have these textured tops and little cutouts on the bottom for you to insert your fingers in. Left brake lever that controls the drum brake in the front and a nice bell. The right brake lever controls the electric braking, which is regen in the rear. Thumb throttle. Overall, a really nice clean cockpit where you can control everything with your thumbs. Moving down the steering pole, you have the folding mechanism, which has a double safety latch. So once it opens, it's not just going to fold. You have to push down and then it will fold. This rear mechanism is very interesting. It's spring loaded. So it pops down, locks into place. You lift up on it, but as soon as you drop it, it just comes unlatched. One unique thing we've never seen is a charge port built into the kick plate. And the scooter boasts an IPX6 water resistance rating. The front suspension has 2 inches of travel, plastic fender, 10-inch tubeless pneumatic tire with hybrid off-road tread, and a drum brake. You've got a nice black silicone deck which matches up with the lines. This deck is pretty big for a commuter scooter. Silicone decks are really easy to clean, but they're very easy to get dirty. It has a nice tapered kick plate. There is rubber suspension in the rear, another 10-inch tubeless pneumatic tire. It weighs between 60 to 64 pounds depending on which battery variant you choose. The range that we have is 62 miles because we got the GT. The lower range model has about 34 miles of range, and this boasts a top speed of 22 miles per hour.
Andrew, thanks for showing us around. We are going to take this for a spin where we're going to talk about the things that we love about it, what we hate about it, and who we think should get this scooter. Okay, so Andrew's coming. We're gonna see if we can get him to reach that top speed.
So it's not quite 22 miles per hour. On the settings it says 21.7 miles per hour and it pretty much stops as soon as you hit that top speed. Hey, it's going 23.4, okay.
Where are
gravity does let me go faster. 25, I'm at 25.8. So I have to let go of the throttle. If I went to press down on the throttle, I tried to speed out of the hill and it actually slowed me down as soon as I pressed down on the throttle. Very interesting. I wish this thing would let me go a little bit faster downhill, like still produce power, but there's no motor power at all once it hits its top speed. I don't love drum brakes, but one thing I do love about them is that they're easy to adjust. So I'm just making this a little bit tighter for my brake tests. Don't want to go too crazy, but definitely want to give this a fair shot of how fast it can stop. The regen braking combined with the drum brakes, it does stop pretty well. I was surprised that I didn't slide out more due to the hybrid off-road tires. I stopped in about 15 feet from a 20 mile per hour stop.
All right, that's a zippy little scooter and it sounds really solid. While we're riding, let's talk about the things that we love about this scooter.
I like that this is designed for off-roading. Most commuter scooters, they have street tires on them. They're really narrow, but this actually has full suspension and hybrid off-road tires.
I love the overall look of this. It's very clean, very minimalistic. They've done a good job with their cable management, which is just 2 simple cables. And because it's just the 2 cables, when Andrew's going off the drops doing the jump, it sounds really solid. And I think that's because of the tires, the lack of excess cables, and the great suspension. Let's pull over. I want to point out a couple features about the design of this scooter, which is a little bit different than what we've seen on other commuter scooters. You can tell they've put a lot of thought into the design. I like how this kickstand is angled down with this swing arm. Makes it so that the lines are clean. And then I do like the charge port hidden right here.
Even with the hook on the rear that connects the scooter when it's folded, it's hidden inside of the kick plate unless you push down on it. So very sleek, stylish scooter with clean lines, almost Tesla-like.
We've reviewed other scooters in the past where things are bolted on, attached on, and it almost seems like they attached it or added these features almost as an afterthought.
And then adding to that, it's very unique looking. A lot of these scooters, they look like they're just a hodgepodge of all these different components that we see on other scooters. We haven't seen the same handlebar grips on scooters, the USB port being hidden inside of this control module, just unique touches that they've designed themselves to be unique and stand out.
The grips are really nice. It's ergonomic, it's grippy, it's just really nice to hold on to. It's very different from all the other grips that we've tried in the past. And something I want to see more scooters doing, especially commuter scooters, turn signals. And not just turn signals that are down low on the deck, but to have it high up, because motorists are not looking down at the ground to look for turn signals, look for brake lights. I hope that more commuter scooters adopt that in the future.
The motor is surprisingly powerful for being only 500 watts.
Yeah, I was really impressed that 500 watt, Andrew was able to climb that hill and it didn't get too sluggish.
That hill is really steep, and a lot of scooters, they start to slow down to crawl, but this maintained a pretty decent speed. I'd say going up 50 miles per hour is pretty good, especially with me weighing 220 pounds. And the suspension works extremely well. Most of the scooters in this class of commuter scooters, if they put suspension on them, they're pretty janky, they bottom out real easily, and they really sound obnoxious when you drop off of curbs. The deck is nice and spacious, and the kick plate angle is perfect for comfortable riding. I also like that it's tubeless pneumatic tires, so you'll deal with less flats. The scooter also has pretty decent clearance. One thing is, most commuter scooters are pretty low to the ground, and just even trying to go up that pretty big curve, which is about 6 inches, they tend to bottom out. So I do like that this has good clearance.
All right, let's keep riding, and then at our next stop, we'll talk about the things that we don't like about this scooter.
For the price of the scooter, I really do think that this should come with disc brakes in the front. I also don't love this lever action for the electric braking. It's just too much resistance. Most scooters that have electric braking have another type of throttle on this side, and it doesn't have as much resistance, where this one you have to pull pretty hard to engage it.
I'd like for an app so that we can adjust the electrical braking, we can lock, unlock the scooter all from our phone. In this, we can lock it from the display, but we can't do it with a phone.
The other thing is with the folding mechanism, I like that innovative design in the rear to hide that latch, but it can be dangerous. It's a little bit too easy to disengage the folding mechanism when it's locked into place. And so let me show you what I'm talking about. So this latches into place. Let's say I'm carrying it up the stairs, and then, oh yeah, see, there you go. I like the innovative design, like I said, but I would have liked for that to be a little bit more secure when lifting it up.
For a commuter class scooter, you want something that's a little bit more portable. This scooter is a little bit on the heavy side. 22
miles per hour is a little bit too slow for me. Some people might be perfectly fine, but for the price, I feel like it's a crowded space with scooters that go at least 30 miles per hour.
And then the light, it's not very bright. Most scooter lights are not bright. This one, it's especially not bright.
The display is very nice. It's ultra crisp, but I don't know why it says PAS levels. That's for pedal assist. They should have changed this for speed levels, and I would have liked for an extra speed level rather than just 1 or 2. And my final issue I have with the scooter is I like this USB port is hidden inside this control module, but this cover seems to keep falling out. The rubber piece isn't thick enough that it doesn't create enough resistance, and if I start riding, it just immediately falls right out.
While we ride, we'll talk about who we think should get the VX4. The VX4, it's a capable commuter scooter designed by Swiss engineers. Andrew, who do you think should get this scooter?
It's a great choice for people looking for a commuter scooter that's more versatile and can do light off-road trails.
It's basically an all-terrain commuter scooter. If you're a larger rider, you've got a big spacious deck, and you have that Swiss engineering that's pretty sweet. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any other questions, check out our full written review at freshlycharged.com, and when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.